What is the worst gift you've ever received for your birthday? Part 2. Woke up in the morning on my birthday in early December. My grandfather was staying with us due to the recent passing of my grandmother and he didn't want to be alone. My grandfather was having severe stomach pains. He had a hiatus hernia for years that doctors decided not to operate on. Turns out it had gotten worse. We brought him to the hospital and his stomach had basically poked through the hernia in his esophagus, tangling itself. During emergency surgery the doctors said the stomach was completely black. Dead. And it crumbled in their hands. They removed the stomach and called my mother and her brothers to discuss options mid-surgery. They explained that he was unlikely to survive recovery and it would be greater than 8 months in a hospital bed. During COVID, he would no longer have a stomach. His wife, my grandmother, had passed exactly 6 weeks before this incident. His children decided to not continue with the surgery and just close him up. He survived through the night and ended up passing the day after my birthday. I guess the gift was him meeting up with the woman he had been married to for 65 plus years. Still miss them both tremendously and my birthday is never going to be the same again. I wouldn't call this a gift at all though. Just felt like sharing. Thanks for reading. My dad threatened to kill himself when I turned 21 earlier this year. A birthday cake that I was then asked to pay for. I don't eat cake. On my 29th birthday, my ex broke up with me. On my 16th birthday I was gifted the phone number of the girl my boyfriend at the time was cheating with. LOL. Probably a Furby, yeah. I'm old. That thing never shut up. My dad is pretty well off. Retired. Doesn't have to worry about money at all. You get the picture. Well, I'm not well off. I'm actually well under the poverty line. I'm his only child. Every year I get the same thing from him for my birthday, nothing. Didn't have much relationship with my dad. My mom would send him birthday gifts in my name each year. One year she forgot to send a gift and the next year for a birthday he mailed me an empty box with a note saying I got you the same thing you got me. Happy birthday. I woke up with a really shitty hangover. A friend of mine was petty because I forgot to invite her to my birthday party through Facebook even though it was a given that she was invited since she knew about it through group texts and we always hung out. She texted all of my friends individually and hosted a breakfast without me during my birthday. Spent the day alone because everyone didn't have time to hang out. An hour before my party, my roommate suggested I cancel my party because it was raining. Got blackout at my party and ended the night with my ex and her friends spending the night in my room. They were there to make sure I didn't harm myself and had to hide the kitchen knives from me. Definitely the worst day of my life. Gotta love 21st birthdays. Wanted to make a few edits. First, I didn't necessarily invite any of my close friends. All of my roommates. The people in my group chat. The people one unit over. And the group of girls living together with the petty friend pretty much had a consensus that everyone was going to the party. I just forgot to send her a Facebook invite. Second, I am in a much better place now. I now have a good understanding about the meaning of real happiness and life. If anyone is struggling, remember that there will always be a time where you are surrounded by overwhelming joy and people you love. No matter what happens in your life, there always be good that eventually comes around in some way. Be excited for life. My nan used to buy me golfing gear and clothes every year in my late teens and early 20s. I have still never played golf in my life or even dressed like I play golf. My parents forgot me at the airport on my 18th birthday after I'd been overseas for 3 months. On the plus side, I was coming down from some space cakes in Amsterdam and pretty drunk, so it was maybe better my parents didn't see me like that. My friend's parents drove me home. My parents forgot to do anything for dinner. And I went out clubbing with my cousin. My younger sister lived with our mom and half-sister. And I lived with our dad, our stepmom, and our other half-sister. She and I were and still are very close. One year I got to go to an amusement park for my birthday, a big deal because our one half-sister got all of the fun birthdays. The day comes and I find out my sister was not invited at all. I spent a lot of time crying that day. Not my birthday. But for Christmas one year a relative gave me the gift I had given her the previous year. I'm hoping she just didn't like it and forgot who gave it to her. But it was probably a passive-aggressive gift. I found out that my first pregnancy was ectopic on my birthday and my husband had gotten me a diaper bag. He meant it in kind way of looking towards the future, but it hurt, and now we're pregnant again and it's out of the tubes. Not so much a worst gift, but just the fact that every year since I was old enough to ask, I only ever wanted a Dairy Queen ice cream cake for my birthday. I'm now 43. And I have never been given one. I realize I could just go out and buy myself one whenever I want. But I'm a man of principle. My wife of 7 years got me a 6-pack of imported beer. The same beer she gave all of her co-workers the day before on Christmas. Got the night off work and was waiting for my ex to get off work and come over to hang out. He forgot to get the night off. I sat there all night drinking. Waiting for him. Watching movies. The next day a co-worker told me when my boyfriend had gotten out of work he saw him leave with a female co-worker of ours. Turns out they went to the bar. Got wasted that night. And he went to her place and screwed her. And again in the morning when they woke up. My grandparents got me a half-used bottle of shampoo. My parents had to drive to their house and get it out of their shower. It was when shampoo and made half my hair fall out. My 6-year-old got a used Amazon gift card with no money on it. The other kids' parents probably just grabbed the wrong card. I never brought it up with them. Not me, but my newly 4-year-old daughter is really into Doc McStuffins. My extremely racist dad wanted ideas what to get her for her birthday. I sent him a couple links for Doc MCS toys. Birthday comes. No present. I know 100% he only did this BC he didn't want her playing with a black doll. My mother-in-law gifted me a makeover twice. My dad gave me men's deodorant on my 10th birthday. I'm a girl. 18 rolls of toilet paper. These days I'd accept it without complaint. My boyfriend's mom gave me these 2 vases full of little gifts intended for a gender reveal. A boy vase. Blue sand. Blue tubes of baby lotion and diaper cream and little trucks. A girl vase. Pink sand. A stuffed bunny and pink baby lotion and diaper cream. I had a miscarriage a month before. I'll also say, nothing. Twice. Actually. Both times from my wife when I turned 30 and then 40. Respectively. When I turned 30 and there was nothing. I chalked it up to our marriage being shitty at the time and I had just learned she's an ass-spy. But when I turned 40 and there was nothing. And I just sat and ate stale Trader Joe's waffles for dinner alone at our dining room table while she and the kids did whatever. I realized that I am truly alone in this life. I came home one weekend from college. About 2 days before my birthday. And found my parents had left the day before I came home to go to the Bahamas for a week. Just got money after they came back, but was odd coming home to learn my parents went to the Bahamas during my birthday without telling me. I've always had pretty bad birthdays since I was a kid. My mom was a single mom and missed most of them in business trips. When she was home she would forget them. One year she got me the remake of Pokemon Red. Left it in the bag with the receipt showing bought it 5 minutes before seeing me. One year she decides to go all out to make up for it. I'm with my then girlfriend, now wife. I told her that I've always had horrible birthdays. Anyway, my mom takes us to Vegas, gets us tickets to see my favorite comedian, we get in town, drink. Go to bed, wake up on my birthday. Our family dog died. We drive home ugly, crying the whole time. I remember one year my dad said, "I got you the same thing your mom got you." Nothing. He hadn't let me see my mom for 6 years and counting. I cried myself to sleep that night. My dad gave me a copy of the book I Hate Myself and Want to Die, the 52 most depressing songs you've ever heard. He is unaware of my ongoing mental health problems, including a previous suicide attempt. Edit, thank you so much for the awards. I also want to clarify that I'm significantly better now than I was. Much like a dodgy knee. My mental health will probably always be something I need to put effort into. Some days I will need the brain equivalent of a knee brace. Some days painkillers. And some days a wheelchair. But there is never a day that I'm not glad my attempt failed. An alarm clock when I was about 14. I was anemic and always tired, and my parents thought it a hilarious present. I found it less hilarious when it went off at 6:30 a.m., and when I was not immediately grateful for the gift. They drove off and took my sister to a water park and a restaurant for the day and left me alone. Edit, thanks for the award. And for those wondering if I am okay, I am a remarkably well-adjusted human despite my parents. My worst birthday was my 14th. I had caught whooping cough about a month. Maybe 6 weeks earlier. So I wasn't really sick anymore, but my diaphragm was still all messed up. With whooping cough, you can cough so hard you throw up. And it can kind of become automatic. Or at least it did with me. My parents took me to my favorite restaurant. Which was sweet. But I still wasn't even back in school because I was throwing up every time I coughed/sneezed/hiccuped/cleared my throat. Made it most of the way through dinner, and made it most of the way to the bathroom before puking up my favorite meal from my favorite restaurant, all over the bathroom door. I grew up in a small town. That story made it back to school before I did. And I never went back to that restaurant. My mom got me a makeup holding purse. I have never worn makeup in my life. Nothing. As in, nobody remembered it? No gift. No card. No phone call. Nothing. At least I had a cute kitty to cuddle up with. But, yeah, that was a sorta sucky year. I had to pay the bar tab after celebrating my birthday. Everyone else dipped. Thanks for watching.